Creating small seating areas, mini green spaces called parklets, and spots of public art are part of a movement called tactical urbanism, and it's on the rise in San Diego. They're quick, cheap, and easy improvements to a neighborhood. Ann Birchtold, founder of Art San Diego, and Chris Michelle, president and CEO of Downtown San Diego Partnership, are leading local efforts. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Chris, give us a few examples of the kinds of tactical urbanisms we're seeing around town.
Well, probably what's most notable is yoga on the Midway. We decided to activate downtown, and we had over 400 people practicing yoga on the Midway one Saturday morning. In addition to that, it's taking a blanket or vacant space and turning that into restaurants, the Courtyard, which is at Park and Market. And doing that temporarily, but it might be 2 years. And that was actually launched this last week. And then, of course, lights on C Street. We've done lights, twinkle lights as I like to call them, just to activate the space there.
So kind of creating some beautiful temporary projects. What's the goal behind these projects?
Well, the goal is to say, what should we be doing with this space? In downtowns and urban centers, space is at a premium. And so what we have to do is make sure we're activating that space. And so tactical urbanism allows us to try something out in a lighter, quicker, cheaper way.
And Ann, you've got a public art project that's actually launching today. Tell us about the Open Walls project.
Sure, thank you. Open Walls project is a way for us to use the urban landscape as a gallery. We have so much creative talent in this city and so many amazing artists, and we don't have that many gallery opportunities or exhibition opportunities. So we're looking to billboards, we're looking to construction fences and to bridges that we can canvas. And the first project, which actually the first one went up this morning, will be on a CBS outdoor billboard. And we worked very closely with CBS. They were very generous with giving us billboards for this project. We put an open call out to numerous artists from both San Diego and Tijuana. We really wanted this to be a collaborative regional project. And we had about 30 wonderful submissions. From that, we picked about 9 artists whose work will be giant.
Right,
on top of billboards.
We just saw an example of that.
10 and a half by 24 foot. And they're so excited to see their work in that scale.
They're kind of giant, but really these are mini improvements. Chris, how much do they cost, and who's paying for it?
Well, they can be free, or they can cost thousands of dollars. It just depends. And it's the community that's paying for it. So private sector individuals that are stepping up saying, we want to make our community better. And so it is not a big thing to do. In fact, some of our friends are doing something this weekend, and it's completely free.
Now, I've heard that there's some red tape that has to be cut through as far as permits go. How is that going with the city?
Well, the city's been a great partner in this, and this is something that's new. So they didn't have a process for this before. So we've been working with them when we did our mobile parklet, which is, again, another tactical urbanism event. And they are helping us come up with a process and almost here's how you make change in a kit. And so they have been great to this. They don't have it yet, but we will.
And that would be speeding up the permit process, because you can't just go out and say, I'm going to fix up this corner lot.
Right, right. Well, first of all, you have to know who owns the lot.
Right,
right. And there's different types of projects. So there's privatized, which are by far the easiest, because you're dealing with one private owner. Sure. And then there's projects that have a public right-of-way. And anytime you're dealing with a project with a public right-of-way, then you have permitting issues, you know, water drain off, safety, security, insurance, liability. So I understand the city's, point on this. They really need to cover all their bases. And I think what's wonderful is there's people there who love placemaking, and they're very good at policy. So they're really interested in trying to make this easier.
They're moving forward on this. Overall, could these projects turn into, let's say, a permanent installation or something that grows a little bit further into a longer lasting improvement project?
I definitely think that's the hope for all these projects. They're a quick, easy way to show how a space or area can be utilized, with the hope that possibly it turns into a long-term solution. And then there's the economic opportunity and I think East Village is a phenomenal example of how you take kind of a blighted area and revitalize it through efforts that Silo, Maker's Quarter is doing, that Courtyard is doing, and it now becomes a vibrant area that potentially will attract tenants, will attract residents.
Well, we will certainly look forward to more of these urban little pop-ups, as I like to call them, actually. So Ann Berchtold and Chris Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.